Of course, as it was a heartbreaking moment in the episode, but we continue and we keep going. And of course, Rattata runs away and starts scurrying up and goes more up the route into the higher grass area. Okay. Of course, there's plenty of space and plenty more room, so there's like, we never know where she went when she ran away. Now, what happens actually is, in that instance, this guy that wasn't here when I was walking around the route ends up being here. So, says, "Hi, I work at the Pokemon Mart." To us all. And he's like, "It's part of a convenient chain. Rubbing it, like bragging a bit. Selling us all sorts of items. Please visit us in Viridian City." He's like, "I know. I'll give you a sample." Ends up giving us all potions, okay? Now, it goes to the concept of me, of, getting the potions, of course. Everybody else is just sitting there, watching them, of course. He's right there. Spleef is right there. In a sense. And Spot's right there, okay? So it's wondered about, okay? I'm right here. Of course, she's behind me. Ooh, staying alive. Ooh, No. In the cool instance that comes to her mind, he says, if you don't know about using potions, you can use them on your Pokemon to re-heal them. Are your Pokemon exhausted? We say yes. They are pretty exhausted. So, in a sense, he's like, well, all you have to do is just go into your bag where you put them at, of course. Now, I'm telling you this as a new trainer, of course. I said this, the key items, and Pokeballs, of course. So, of course, go to items place. Okay, I'm using one because that first potion was the cheat potion that I showed you all in the beginning that you should know about and grab. Now, I grabbed it on purpose for a reason. Also, just to have it. Okay, blast his hip. HP ends up getting restored while I healed him. So he feels like, he feels like the man again. So everybody ends up getting healed, but we continue to walk along the route. Now, of course, we're going to go through the route. I'm going to start it. I'm going to go through. So we made it through that long section, of course. That section's pretty long. Of course, the longer that we keep walking through it, all of us start walking through it. Of course, she uses her potion on flames. Of course, she gets healed by 15 points. It's hilarious. And in this sense, she doesn't get disturbed or bothered either. Okay? Now, I'm just putting them and setting them through the route, okay? I'm not going to put them in perfectly because I'm trying to get through it. But Spleef ends up getting into her battle. Now, the thing that she ends up forgetting is she forgets to use her potion first. While everybody used theirs. Okay? While we're walking along the route, of course, this Pidgey comes and attacks at her first. So, of course, everybody's like, hurry, use your potion. If you didn't use your potion, blah, blah, blah. She's like, no, da, 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 da. Now, seems wrong, seems like I made a mistake, but no, this is how it is. And, of course, how she is for reasoning, okay? So of course she heals Leafa. Now, in her instance, she uses the potion. Of course, this Pidgey hits. So of course, as it's known, when you use an item, it takes up your turn also for beginners that don't know or understand this about the game. So she's just like, tackle. She's like, keep tackling it back, of course. And Leafa's getting confidence of the tackles more, of course. As you see, she's taking the tackles also. She tried to do a tackle this time, the Pidgey dodged it. So in the concept that I wanted to say, I didn't say before that I was bragging about, that I wanted to speak about Pidgey as a flying type at first, is they should have it, if it's in the movie or in the scene or in the game, that it actually can fly. You know what I mean? It actually flies a little bit. Like, you know what I mean? The Pidgeys actually, when they're battling and moving around, when they're in battle, because it's going to be spontaneous, cool battle, the Pidgeys actually are hovering and they're moving around. They're actually flying around, actually. Like, you know, they don't fly too high or nothing, you know, unless they're told, or they actually do it to dodge when they miss an attack. You know what I mean? That's when they actually fly high. They actually fly, like if it's a flying type, that's when they fly high. They dodge the attack. You know what I mean? That's when they actually fly high and dodge the attack. But when they come back and they come down to do attack, that's when they're on regular level attack again. You know what I mean? They can actually, or like there actually are, I should say, they actually can. They actually are on the level of that they can get like hit by attack. Now this cool concept that should be understood and be noted and noticed is that with the flying attack and flying types that are getting hit by these attacks, are that the Pokemon are actually cool enough and actually accurate enough to actually hit these flying Pokemon. So when Leafa's doing these tackles, she's actually accurate enough to chase it down and hit it. You know what I mean? So it makes it way more interesting and it makes it more alive, the battle more alive. Okay? That's all. That's all I wanted to say. Of course, in this instance, Leafa is exhausted. But she grows a level. Of course, it says Leafa's grown a level. So that was a big confidence booster, of course. Now, it was shocking whenever she missed the tackle. And, you know, it caught out all of her attention, of course, and all that stuff. Yeah. And, of course, Daz is like, Leafa, you can't be doing that to us. Like, you're scaring us. Alright? Hope it's cool or what? Like. So, yeah, in that instance, as it was designated to be, Spleefa was the only person that got into a battle. So we continue on the route. And of course, this guy sees this, and he's trying to tell us, and of course, he wants to brag about it. He's like, oh yeah, hey, how's it going? He's like, wow, there's a whole bunch of you this time. It's like, hey, it seems like you made some friends. I'm like, yeah. It's like, thank you for telling me about that. And he's like, yeah, did you tell them about it? And he's like, I was like, no. And he's like, oh, well, you know, and then, you know, of course, I might as well just go through the route because I don't want to be chilling in the grass. And then, you know, after everybody doesn't get in a battle, I get into a battle, you know. Are they mad that I didn't get into a battle? That's probably what they were hoping. But ideally, that did happen. So, of course, Spot, she gets into a battle. But that will be afterwards, okay? I don't want to ruin what was happening. So, of course, he brags, he tells, and he speaks about, and of course, Spleefa gets into another battle, which is interesting. But he brags and he tells and he just says, yeah, you see the ledges above the road. They're a bit scary, but you can jump from them and you can get back to Pallet Town quicker that way. Of course, we all know this and we've seen